This is an HPI Nitro RS43 Drift, one of my favorite 10 scale Nitro drift cars. It seems to be wearing a Zenoah hat. I wonder why. You know what happened? This happened. I got a hat and I got a box of motors straight from Zenoah themselves.
Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? Think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Break it down! It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up.
What's up, guys? This is part 4 of my original HPI Baja restoration. I purchased this whole thing for only $100, but of course I had to do a whole bunch of work. Had to repair the carb, put in new fuel lines. I was about ready to get this fired up, but you know what's missing? Take a look at the back. Tell me if you can figure it out. There's no pipe on this. It turns out there was another surprise. The exhaust port bolts are fully stripped. Now, I did have a couple conversations with some of my RC buddies because the RC community, one of the greatest strengths we have is we help each other. And they advised me to get a helicoil tool and rethread the entire exhaust system. Now, let me show you the main problem right here. This right thread on this exhaust port is fully stripped. Now, this is fairly long screw that I have. Normally they use a little bit of a smaller screw in here, but yeah, I can basically stick it all the way in like that. You guys see that? You're not supposed to be able to pull a screw in and out like that. You see that? This is not good. It's pretty much nothing I can do. Look at that. The screw's all the way in. I could just push it in with my fingers. I was pretty angry. This is the only genuine Zenoah motor I've ever had. Up until this point, I've only ran Roven. And honestly, I was kind of pissed. But then, you know what happened? This happened. I got a hat and I got a box of motors straight from Zenoah themselves. It seems because I drive a Prius in real life and I'm probably the only American that's proud to drive a Prius. Well, you know what? The Prius has finally paid off, not only in terrific fuel economy, 55 miles a gallon, baby, true Japanese quality, but now I have myself one of the most iconic Japanese engines ever made for the RC hobby. One of them is gonna go in this car, one of them is gonna go in my Redcat Rampage Rally XR, and then we're really gonna have some fun. I'm gonna unbox both of these engines. I'll show you which one I will be putting in here, but first and foremost, I want to say I'm very happy that Zenoah is supporting the community. This is not any type of sponsored video. We all know Zenoah engines basically sell themselves. In fact, when I first saw pictures of this Baja and I saw that it said Zenoah on top of the motor, I knew I had to buy it. That in itself is brand recognition. And you know what? Zenoah's been in business for over 100 years. They've been making hobby RC engines since 1952. What's this HPI Nitro 3 Drift doing on the box of engines? Why is it wearing the Zenoah hat over here? This is all a Japanese theme. Now, I want you to know, I've been living the JDM lifestyle going back to college. One of my first cars was an Acura Integra GSR. The GSR was only for the American market, but I think overseas it was called a Type R or some sort of variant. Anyway, I drive a Prius, I live the Japanese lifestyle. I may even go get some sushi after this, depending on how the whole COVID situation with the restaurants are. I think it's time I put this hat back on. Boom! Let's open up the box, baby.
Are you ready?
Look at these beautiful engines. They come in freaking nice boxes. I like this. I already looked at one, so, you know, don't tell me, oh, it's open. Trust me, this is all Nitrogang verified stuff going on here. It's no joke. First motor is a G290. So this is a 29cc. An upgrade compared to the one I currently have in my Baja, which was a G270. This is for hobby use only, obviously, right? What else would you use it for? Well, maybe, you know, one day I'll build a Zenoah powered toothbrush, but till then, this is gonna be hobby use only. Made in Japan, Husqvarna Zenoah Company Limited. Made in Japan, one of the best things I love, especially about my Prius. Now, the Japanese business paradigm, you know, they strive for success. There's a reason why when the original Honda Civic, I think it was called the CCCV, something like that, it came out in America and it passed emissions without the use of any catalytic converters. Honda saw, you know, a way to get into the market, and today Japanese vehicles are considered some of the most reliable and best value in the industry. Of course, if you drive a Volkswagen, you'll probably disagree with that statement, but then again, their CEOs have admitted to pretty much highway robbery in terms of being eco-friendly with their diesels. Let's take a look at the G290. Extremely nice packaging. We have a new fuel pickup, fuel grommet, some fuel tubing here, spark plug wrench, little bit of an instruction manual. All this stuff is online. I was able to find the Zenoah instruction manuals. I'll put a link to the PDF in the video description. Okay, now all we got is the damn engine. Engine says G290 RC. Terrific. Look at that. Nicely wrapped. I gotta say, this thing is actually fairly light in my hand. It comes already pre-built with a 6,000 RPM clutch spring. You could put on whatever clutch spring you want. That really doesn't matter. We have an included muffler style pipe here. Most people just wind up using their own. And we have an air filter system. Most people, once again, just wind up using their own. But it's good to know that they include this kind of stuff. Let's open this thing up. Look at that. Zenoah, baby. Even says made in Japan here on top. I like that. We could see the Zenoah logo here on top of the head, and also on the bottom here you have Zenoah. So sometimes, you know, if you're looking for used RCs, make sure to see that you see the Zenoah. People sometimes replace just the head or just the long block itself, and then you'll never know. But this is nice. They put it into basically every single part that people are likely to replace. This is a 4-bolt design. You could see you have holes here for the bolt. Basically what that means is you have 4 screws holding together the head. Now, years ago, it was common to use a 2-bolt design, and what that did was create uneven pressure distribution on your gaskets. Now, they still ran fine, don't get me wrong, but once you start rebuilding the 2-bolt designs, it really just not that great. One of the best things about the Zenoahs is you don't have to worry about carbs. They already come with a nice Walbro carb. And if you notice, this one does not have a choke on this side. Now that means this is a WT990 carb. These are extremely good. A lot of people that want to get a little bit more of that higher RPM, they use these carbs. They do not have a choke. What that means is, yeah, sometimes you have to prime a little bit more. But personally, I've ran 990s. I've never had a single issue. I don't even really use the choke. You should not even need to use it if you prime correctly. And I'm honestly very happy that this already comes with a 990, because this is one of the main upgrades that people do on these carbs. We'll take a look later at the DDM website, which is where most people wind up buying Zenoah motors. Very good prices, great shipping. Man, G290. This is going into the Baja, baby. And now it's time to open up the big boy, the G320. This is the exact motor that comes in the most popular fit-scale gas RC, the Team LOSI 5T. And I'm gonna open it up right here for you. I just cut this factory seal. I didn't even look inside the box yet. Here we go. There's a reason why Team LOSI chooses to use this style of motor. That's because it's king of the motors, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be excited to run this. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is going in my Redcat Rampage Rally. It's pretty cool. Now this one is a little bit different. Anything with the 32cc and up style displacements typically have what's known as a transfer port on top here. Really, you don't need to do anything, just a cover here on top. The lower displacement motors do not have it. But this is one of the best motors that you could possibly get. And man, this thing makes the LOSI 5T, which is a giant fit-scale gas short course truck, fly. And these are easy to tune, they're easy to start, and the best thing about these is they retain value. When you go to sell them, people are gonna want, you know, an RC with a Zenoah motor. The main reason why I bought my nearly destroyed original Baja is because it had a Zenoah motor. When it comes to two-stroke gas engines for hobby RC cars, there are 3 styles of motor. They're basically all the same, more or less, but it has to do with quality. There is Zenoah, right here. There is Roven, which is more or less considered a CY style motor. CY stands for Chongyang. That's the city these were manufactured in. And then there is HY, a different brand, but basically all similar. Now, HY is what comes in every Redcat Rampage. And I will say they suck. They are extremely low RPM motors, although they do run fine. They start good. They run pretty cool, but they are very low RPM. The Roven engines here, also very good. They are more or less clones of Zenoah style motors. There's only very minimal differences. I do want to mention there is a good amount of debate in the two-stroke gas RC community as to which motor is better. Is it the Zenoah? Is it the CY, which is this, or is it the HY? I will confirm one thing, the HY motors, which is what's in every single Redcat Rampage, they are not good. It's not that they're not good. Well, yeah, okay, it's that they're not good. The reason is they're very low RPM. It might have to do with the plating technology. It might have to do with the port matching they use, which they are not port matched at all. But they are fairly consistent. They're easier to tune. They run okay, but they have no RPM. In the center, this is the Roven motor, the CY, and we have the 2 Zenoahs on the side here. There really isn't much of a difference, but I think the most obvious difference is the way that the case itself is molded. You guys see how coarse, how rough this casting is? Yeah, these are extremely smooth cases, man. It actually even looks kind of shiny here, you know? Fairly nice. Also, I notice, if you look really close, you know, the way the gaskets are. You could see a little bit of this like gasket sealant, I think, coming out of here. But the Zenoah gaskets, really nice, clean, even lines. And I also like, you see right here, there's a little bit of a pull tab. So if you ever have to replace your gaskets, this is going to be very easy to take apart. You might actually even be able to reuse these gaskets. It really comes down to debating, you know, the quality of the materials that are used. Both of these engines are very good. I have had absolutely no bad results running a Roven motor. But this will be my first time running Zenoah. And in the future, I will regularly check in with you as I run these motors, and I will make my determination which engine really is worth getting. They're all worth getting. You know why? Because RC is great. That's all there is to it. But of course, it feels good to know that you have yourself a nice, genuine Zenoah in your gas RC, just like your rich buddy that runs a Team LOSI 5T, you know? In fact, if you look at the Traxxas Monster Buggy, the first Traxxas Gas RC, which came out in 1993, they really boasted about the fact that it came with the Zenoah G230 motor. And these are basically descendants of those motors. Personally, I never thought I would get it, but I found a nice used Baja that came with one. You know, I got a little bit screwed in that deal because the exhaust port bolts are stripped, but lucky enough for me, this G290 is gonna go in that Baja, and the other G320 is gonna go in my Redcat Rampage, and then we're gonna have ourselves a good time. Guys, you could pick up any of these motors pretty much from multiple locations. The most common location is DDM Racing. I'll put a link to their website in the description to this video. DDM Racing, which is davesmotors.com, is the most common place to buy Zenoah motors, along with some other engines. We're on their home site right now. Let's go to engines. I'll show you guys what they have for complete engines. It's pretty good search functions here as well if you were looking to get any other style of engines. So here's the one we have, the Zenoah G320, $299. They have a couple other Zenoahs here available. Of course, they have long blocks. They have certain rebuild kits. They also have ones that come with pipes. If you're trying to get a Baja or something, you need a pipe. Well, you probably should get something like this. This is our G290. Very good deal. Let me click on it. $299. It comes with their Dominator pipe, pretty much everything you need here. Very good deal, I gotta say, for the G290, $299 with the pipe. These pipes often cost like $100. Let's see what they say about this motor. This engine has become the stable establishment for users looking for reliability and performance in one package. Here's something interesting, a stronger and lighter crankcase with additional crankshaft bearings. Very good for long-term reliability. High performance WT990 carb as standard equipment, as I previously mentioned. A lighter flywheel, all very useful upgrades. Metal impregnated insulator gasket for better seal and modified cylinder hardware to better resist vibration. I did notice the gaskets they used were superior quality to what I normally see, and I guess that's what they mean by a metal impregnated insulator gasket. DDM Racing here has quite a way with words, you know, metal impregnated type stuff over here. The cylinder showcases a 4-transfer port with a Hemi style combustion chamber. Are you telling me we got ourselves a Hemi in this? Yep. If you drive a Dodge, you already got a Hemi. Pretty cool. A full circle crankshaft to round out the internals. What really matters is their RPM. And Zenoah motors, I'll tell you right now, they have a very good RPM. Let me see if we can pull up the RPM statistics. This is the Zenoah owner's manual. We're looking at the G290 here. I'm just curious to see whether I can find some interesting statistics on the engine RPM. No load max speed. So it's saying, these little arrows are saying that the G290, right? This little line right here. It's telling us 19,500 RPM. Very, very good result. Doesn't mean you're going to get 19.5k RPM, you know, under load in terms of running. But the engine is capable of spinning that high. That is very good. The most I've ever gotten out of my Rowan motors was about 18,000, but that's under load. Of course, the Redcat motors are significantly worse. But this is very nice. If you ever have questions about anything, you know, I highly recommend looking up the Zenoah Exploder parts views. They have all the information that you need. Here is the Zenoah catalog for the year 2020 to 2021, obviously, right? Zenoah Husqvarna right here. We have our G320. We have a marine variant. Some more boat engines. The G230, the G260, 240, 290. So the most common, I would say, currently is the G290 and the G320. Just because they're the larger displacement engines. You know, today, going larger is basically what RCs wind up doing. And that applies to a nitro world as well. But pretty good to see that you have a whole bunch of resources on a product that you're looking to buy. Very nice. I'm happy here. You know, I'm going to go grab some sushi after this, and I'm going to wear my hat. We'll see if the Japanese restaurant recognizes the Zenoah brand name. Later. The motor, it's a kicking, baby. You cannot keep the Nitrogang and the gas gang down. Nitro.
So fine, but her breath is like ooh. She says she wanna dance, but she don't know how to ooh. I'm iced out, ooh, looking like a star. Ooh. Her name is Jenny, ooh, bitch don't have no panties. Ooh. I'm Steph Curry, when I hit the 3, I hit the...
What's up?
I don't want to hear this once a day. Come on, let's get big.